Hi everybody, welcome back to Maker Challenge. My name is Tori. I'm the Makerspace Librarian at the Irvin L. Young Memorial Library in Whitewater, Wisconsin. And today's Maker Challenge is a technique called image transfer using clear packing tape. Maker Challenge is where we take something old, recyclable, and we use materials that you probably already have at home to make something fun and creative. So today I made these fall themed glass jars, or these could be used as votives. You could put little electric or regular tea candles inside. But really these are basically stickers made from clear packing tape with ink transferred onto them, and you can use them to make whatever you want. These are just some fall themed photos that I found online, copyright free, but you can use your own photos to do this project as well. So to get started, you're obviously going to need your images. This technique works best with images that are printed with a laser printer on regular copy paper. So most home printers are actually inkjet printers, which work a little bit differently than laser or toner printers. This method only works with laser printers that use toner because those operate by actually heating up the ink and laying it down on the paper, whereas inkjet printers use ink and the ink absorbs into the copy paper, and it doesn't really work with this technique. You can also use magazine pages as well. You don't want to use like regular photos printed on photo paper or anything that's on thicker paper because it's just not going to work as well for what we're doing today. You're going to need either a bone folder, or what's easier to find hanging around is just a regular craft stick. We're going to use this to burnish our image. Most importantly, you're going to need some packing tape. I'm using Scotch Shipping heavy duty packing tape, but really any packing tape should work for this project. You're going to need something that you want to put your images onto. I'm using glass jars because I think it looks really cool with this technique, but really you can use these image transfers to make a lot of different things. Some great ideas for these are making cards, making mail art, scrapbooks. You can put it in your journal, sketchbook. The possibilities are really endless with this, so it's totally up to you. And then you're going to need a tub of water, or I guess you could just use a sink. One other thing that I want to bring up is if you are going to use this technique with jars or votives, I want to let you know that you need a jar or a votive with straight sides like this one. If you have something that's really curved like this one here, the image isn't going to lay flat and it might look kind of weird. So this really works best with jars with sides that are straight up and down. So I've printed out some fall images that I found online. You want to make sure that your images are copyright free. I got these from a website called unsplash.com, unsplash.com, and that is a website that has Creative Commons photos on it, meaning that the creator or the photographer has given permission for their artwork to be used. So I just went on there. There's some really beautiful photos on there, found a couple that I liked and printed them out, and now I'm going to use them to make a fall themed set of jars. I want to start with this image here, so I'm just going to cut a slice of my packing tape that's about as long as the image, and I'm just going to lay it down over the top of the image. I'm going to try really hard not to get any air bubbles or any wrinkles in the tape. And I'm just going to continue to do that until my whole image is covered in tape, slightly overlapping my tape. Now that I have my image completely taped over, I'm going to use, you can really use anything hard. You can use the back of a spoon, but I'm just going to use one of these, and I'm going to do something called burnishing, which basically means applying pressure over the whole image so that I'm sure that all the ink of this print here is stuck to the tape. Now I'm ready to cut out my image. Next, I'm going to grab my tub of water here, and I'm just going to place my image in the water, get it completely wet. Now, after I let it sit in the water for a moment, I'm going to start gently rubbing away at the paper. And what this does is rubs off the paper and leaves behind the ink. This process does take a little while, so just be patient. And you want to make sure you use the tips of your fingers for this and not your nails, because if you use your nails, you could scratch your image. This is why it's best to use copy paper and not any sort of thicker paper, because the thicker the paper, the more difficult this process is going to be, and the copy paper really comes off very easily. So I'm almost there. I'm just really going over it with my fingertips and feeling. I don't know if you can see, there are like little pieces of paper still stuck on there, little patches of paper. I just keep rubbing and rubbing until it's completely smooth. So you want to be careful to get all of the paper off the back of the image. If you miss any, once it dries, it will turn white and it'll show up on your image. But even if that happens, you can actually remove the sticker from whatever you put it on, as long as it's not paper. Like if I put this on the glass and then it dried and it showed up white that I had left some paper on here, I could remove it and put it back in the water. Putting it back in the water is not going to hurt it. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. It's very detailed image transfer right there. So now I'm going to take this and do my best to dry it off. Now I've allowed this one to dry, and as you can see, there's a little bit of paper still stuck to the back. But when I flip it over the right way round, this is the side that is going to be showing when I stick on my sticker, you can't see it at all. So this one's good to go. So you might think that after you put the tape in the water, it won't be sticky anymore. But once you clear it of the paper, you let it dry for a minute, it will become sticky again. It won't be sticky where the ink is, but on the sides here. This is why you want to leave a good little border of the tape around the image, because just these edge clear pieces here are what is going to help the image stick to whatever you stick it to. And if for whatever reason yours isn't sticky after it dries, just add a little bit of glue. Use a glue stick to help it stick to whatever you want it to stick to. So there it is. And now if I just put a little candle, or I fill this with something fall and decorative, it'll look really cute. Here is another image that I made. Look how detailed that is. Looks really cool. This one is probably my favorite. That is so cool. So this is an image from a magazine. The magazine paper took way longer than the copy paper to break down in the water. So I would recommend letting that soak for a little bit before you start to work on peeling it away. But I think it turned out really nicely. Like I mentioned before, you can use text. It's not going to reverse your text. It's not going to reverse your image. If you complete this project at home, please share your photos with us. We love to see your completed projects. Thanks for watching.